My name is Faith Sloan, and first of all, I'd like to say Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from my family to yours. I tell you guys, it's just nothing like family. You know, you've got God and we've got family. To me, those are the most important things in my life. But what I'm here and excited about, all of the family members that have gone home, and we had a wonderful time. My family is wonderful. There's nothing I can say about that. They are wonderful. We always enjoy each other's company when we're around one another. It wasn't always like that in our younger years, but today it truly is, and it's just such a pleasure. I tell you, we just have so much fun playing dominoes and laughing and eating a lot, talking. I mean, it's just wonderful. Hugging, kissing, embracing. I just love it. But I want to talk about what we're going to do now. We have 6 more days before the end of the year. And I know there's a lot of you who believe that you take off on vacation on the 25th on Christmas and you come back refreshed for the new year. But me, I believe that what we should be doing, because we've made some promises throughout the year. We've made some promises throughout the year that we were going to do A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, and we haven't accomplished everything. I say that what we should be doing towards the end of the year is finishing 2014. Finishing 2014 as we go into 2015. And when we've got 2015, when it's here upon us, we already have a running start. We already have a running start. I want to tell people a little bit about myself. First I'm going to talk about myself, then I'm going to talk about network marketing, and then I'm going to talk about YEVO and why I've chosen YEVO as the multi-level marketing company to get me where I want to go in terms of my journey to my why, okay, which positively affects a lot of other people. Many people say, well, Faith, you do well because you're a great speaker. You do presentations, and you have a circle of influence, and you can bring people into a deal. And I say that to say this. That was learned. It wasn't as if I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth or anything of the sort, or diamond-studded spoon or anything like that. There was once upon a time when I had trouble speaking. My speaking just, it improves just like anything will improve over time with practice. Basketball, become good, you have to practice. Baseball, you got to continue to hit and hit and hit and hit that ball, pitching practice. And the same thing with speaking, the same thing with getting out there and doing some of the things that many of you do not like to do. Because success comes from those folks and doing those things that other people are unwilling to do, that they find too difficult when the going gets tough. I was born in Miami, Florida. Mom and dad. Dad was a military man, Army. And we left Miami when I was 1 year of age, and they moved to Chicago. The projects, Chicago, Robert Taylor Homes. Many of you have probably heard of Robert Taylor Homes. When we moved there, back in those days, in the 60s, when we moved there, I tell you, it was brand new, it was fresh. But over time, it became like the murder capital of the United States. Murder, drugs, anything negative out there in the world was over there in Robert Taylor Homes. But I am grateful to God, and I'm grateful to my mom, because we didn't get caught up in a lot of that. We've had our stuff. We weren't perfect children. Never, I'm not going to even tell you that. But I tell you, the value system that she instilled upon us is the foundation that made us who we are today. And most of us in my family, as a matter of fact, all of us are successful. All of us are successful in what we set out to do. But many of us, we have more things we need to do before we pass on this earth. And we're all working at those things at varying levels, different paths. It's not all the same because we are individuals. Eventually, my mother managed to save up enough money to buy a house in what we call Inglewood today. And back then, Inglewood was slowly becoming an integrated neighborhood. There was around the time there was a lot of segregation, there was a lot of hatred, there was a lot of mess back then. You know, we still have mess today, but there was a lot of blatant mess back there. And so we brought a house there, and today Inglewood has the claim to fame for being just as bad as Robert Taylor Homes was. As a matter of fact, Robert Taylor Homes has been bulldozed. They tore that baby down just a few years back. You know, I know you guys heard of Cabrini Green as well. I served the stint over there. I call it served the stint over there. I lived in one of the, when I got a little older, broke as a joke, you know, so I lived over there as well. And I tell you, man, they would snipe at you with rifles or whatever, shotguns or whatever. It was just a mess, which is just a hop, skip, and jump from what we call Rush Street or the Gold Coast, where Oprah Winfrey and those type of people would live. Just right over the bridge, just a couple of blocks, and you had Cabrini Green. So I'm telling you guys all of this is that everything wasn't just rosy-daisy for me. But when I was about 17, I did get a small scholarship from friends. It was actually an organization, a political organization, gave me a few $100 as a scholarship. I thought it was a great thing as a scholarship to go to college. But my college, when I went to college, I really got through college on loans, which I was happy to have paid all of that off, and on grants. That's when we had to pay on grants and all of those things. Today, the kids don't have a lot of those opportunities that we've had. Things have changed considerably. And I managed to graduate with a Bachelor of Science from the University of Illinois in Chicago, Bachelor of Science in Quantitative Methods. I went on to work as a statistician analyzing data for a nonprofit organization. And what I didn't like about it, it was right there on Michigan Avenue, what I didn't like about that profession, if you will, is that you could take data and you can make it say whatever you wanted to say, regardless of whether it's true or not. So I didn't like that, and it's not an exact science. And after a couple of years of doing that, I moved to California. Some friends of mine said, let's go to California. You know, I stayed out there for a few years in Orange County. I called it behind the orange wall. Stayed out there for a while. My career began there. I started working in pharmaceutical research and development in biotech companies such as Allergan. I ended up working for Cooper Vision, Alcon Surgical. Ended up working for a lot of companies all around the country. Fujisawa, USA. I can just go on and on and on. Many of them, then I became a consultant. But during this period of time, I got the opportunity, and this is an opportunity many of the kids do not have today, and that we were getting 80% of our tuition covered if we decided to go to school. So I went on to get my master's at the University of Southern California in computer information systems. And I tell you, working with computers, I've been doing that for decades. Software engineer, went on to senior management, left all of that alone, lived in San Francisco for a while. By this time, I'm doing pretty well, six-figure salary, still working, six-figure salary. Then I became a consultant for, over a decade as well. And then I stumbled across, so what I'm saying is to tell you guys all of that is there was a series of things that I was willing to do in order to get where I wanted to go. And my why at that time was my daughter. For those girls out there who believe that there's no chance for them because they have a child out of wedlock or they have a few children, I tell you, that's hogwash. Don't use your circumstances, don't use your past as an excuse not to go forward. I had my daughter at the age of 15, my only child, at the age of 15. So if you want to give me an excuse, you better try for another one. That one won't work with me. As a matter of fact, not many excuses will work with me because I tell you, whatever you want to do, and if you have a why and you have a drive and you have a desire, you're going to do it. I mean, it's just like a drug addict. I tell a lot of people a story about a drug addict who's homeless, for example. All drug addicts are homeless. I didn't say that. But let's say he's homeless, and it's cold. In Chicago, it's cold. His desire is to get his next drug hit because that's his habit. That's his why for waking up in the morning. And I guarantee you he will succeed because that's his why. That's his motivating factor. And so don't tell me because I can't pay my rent, I can't this, I can't that. Keep saying you can't, because I tell you guys, those who say they can't and those who say they can are both correct. Start thinking about what you can do, because you really truly can do anything. There is no limit, not even the sky. We don't use our full capabilities, our full capacity, neither one of us. But what I want to show you how is to maximize. I'm going to mentor you and show you how to maximize utilizing your full capacity, because it's in you. It's in you. It's a changing of the mindset and the changing of the people who are around you. Okay? So those are some critical things. But this is not a teaching session right now. It is Christmas, it's Eve, and I'm a little tired. I'm going to put my feet up a tad. But I want to talk about my why. My why today is, number one, to make sure that my parents, that they are going to be comfortable for the rest of their lives. That's a strong why. It's a driving force as to what I do and why I do the things I do. Another big why with me. And remember, when you have a why, don't make it a penny whinny, antsy whinny why, where I want to go on a vacation next week, or I want to go on a vacation by the end of the year. Because you know what's going to happen when you have a tiny why, and when the tough things start happening to you, you know, things aren't happening right, you're going to give up because your why isn't big enough. You want a why that is ridiculously, insanely, people are telling you you're out of your mind because it seems impossible. That's your why, and you've got to dig within your heart. And you're going to always fine-tune your why, because you're going to discover more and more not only about yourself, but about what you want to contribute to others. And most times the why is associated with making a positive impact on other people's lives. And mine is to start a nonprofit organization for underprivileged girls who don't have access to technology, to bridge the digital divide, to give them that access. Because in this world today, in the 21st century, it is essential, it is critical that you have access to technology. Not for technology's sake, but just to live, to be able to communicate, to have more leverage, okay? To be able to learn as quickly as the guy sitting right next to you, you know, who's not underprivileged. And also, I want to be able to, and it's not about technology, it's really about bringing them up. And it's about instilling a sense of self-confidence within them, because many of them also don't have the support groups around them that'll say, there you go, you're doing a great job. There's a lot of times they have a lot of negative influences in their lives and around them. And I want to counter that. I want to counter that. I want to counter it so bad. It's kind of like saying, get thee behind me. Get thee behind these girls. Because they can shine. That is my goal. And I like young people as well. And I'm going to talk about YEVO. YEVO is the new non-GMO, GMO. GMO is genetically modified organism. That garbage they put in our food. So we want non-GMO, healthy, tasty foods. Because most health food tastes like filling plaque or something, you know, or plaster. And so what YEVO has done is they've formulated some wonderful food, about 100 plus different type of food products. They're going to roll out in February with breakfast foods only first in the United States. Right now, we've got people in Japan who are meeting today in preparation for the rollout. So a lot of people need to get on board now, even though we're rolling out in the United States. Get with me and I'll talk about how you can start rolling out and becoming the top dog and the leader in your country. Puerto Rico, Mexico, we've got Taiwan, Thailand, Japan, and there are going to be many, many other countries. I've got folks from Africa who are actually organizing right now, preparing for the rollout in their countries. They're going to roll out in so many countries, and one of the things I like about YEVO is they're not going to be shipping from the United States to all these countries. They're going to be able to have their logistics, local logistics, being able to ship directly to the citizens of these various countries from within their country. That is what I like about them. Okay, but you can go to unstoppablesuccessteam.com and get more information about YEVO. That is unstoppablesuccessteam.com. You can find me in Skype, Faith Sloan. You can find me in Facebook, faith.sloan.godschild. You can also find me in LinkedIn, Faith Sloan. You know, so I'm easy to find. Okay, I'm easy to find. And what I'm doing with the Unstoppable Success Team, and this ties directly into my why, is I have created a group of folks. They're called the Ys. And these are young people from 18 to 35 years of age. This is going to be the most powerful team in YEVO. These are our children. This is our future. This is our generation of young people. And a lot of them know nothing about network marketing or multi-level marketing. But they're seeing what's happening out there with the economy and what happens when they're graduating and the layoffs, and they're seeing all of these things. It's not like when we were growing up. Our children today are actually having less chance of success, utilizing the same industrialization model, and that is go to school, get a job. Go to school, get a job. And that is the model we were all following. But it's not quite working anymore. And so this is going to be an option for those people, option for the young people to take in order for them to go on that journey to their why. And why, in this case, for the Unstoppable Success Team is wealthy, healthy, young successes. Wealthy, healthy, young successes, the Ys. The Ys group, I'm thinking about calling them the Wise guys, but the Ys group is going to be an offshoot of the Unstoppable Success Team, but we're going to be totally integrated with one another. Okay? Monday, I'm going to be meeting with some of these young people. We're going to start jamming here. I'm not waiting until the 1st of January. Why should I? I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything Monday. And so I'm going to go out there and meet with these guys. We're going to talk about creating a mission statement. I'm going to have them create their mission statements. I'm going to take about 10 of these guys who have a circle of influence, who see the vision without having to, these are the guys that have faith in things unseen. And so these are the guys that I'm going to surround myself with, men and women, young men and women, and we're going to create something to contend with. It's going to be a powerhouse, and we're going to carry this mission not only throughout the United States, but throughout the world. That is what I'm going to do. And you see, YEVO is able to, it blends so nicely into my why. That is why I'm interested in this company. Healthy is, I want everyone to live longer, but not only live longer thicker, but I want them to live longer with a great life. With a great life, not in eating the foods that we're eating today. We need to change, and I will indeed. And I promise you that. And so, wealth. I'm not talking about money. When I'm talking about wealthy, I mean being able to build a legacy, not only today for themselves, but for their children and for those that's to come. That is what we're doing here. Because you can't get that from a job. You can't build a legacy from a job, and no one has ever built a legacy from a job, just over broke. You're living day by day. So that is what I'm here to talk about, guys. Come on, let's do YEVO. I tell you, we've got marketing systems. My sponsor put together an awesome marketing system 3 days ago. I tore up that back office to see what it's going to bring to the table. Weather and DL is going to present that to my team. He's done a wonderful job. Because we've added videos. We're going to have training. I'm going to be providing a lot of mentorship. We're going to talk about training for leadership. We're going to have training for presentation, to develop your presentation skills, which is critical if you want to succeed. We're going to talk about marketing, how to build your business and how to sustain it. We're going to talk about relationships, human relationships, personal development as well as professional development. We're going to talk about social networks. We're going to talk about marketing with social networks. I mean, we are going to blow this thing up. And with that said, come see me over at UnstableSuccessTeam.com. Until then, I'll see you on the other side. I'm going to do another video right before the new year. Bye-bye. Thing didn't stop on me.